start this? I would have been in the pharma industry. I was very happy with my posting in Ernst & Young. When I met a gentleman called Kishore Biani, whom you all know as Big Bazaar and Pantaloon. And I do a lot of work in mythology, so I'm called for a lot of talks. So I thought he just wanted to talk with me. At the end of a 2-hour conversation, he had offered me a job. And I said, what job do you want? He said, "Nahi, aake sir kahani batao." So I was a little surprised. I said, he said, "Nahi, mujhe kahani, jo kahani batate hain, mujhe wo mere company mein chahiye." And I found that a little strange. But Kishore Biani is a very strange man and he thinks very differently. At the end of it, at the end of about, he pursued me for about 6 months and I said, "What do you want me to do? What is it that you want?" Remember, you're talking to a hardcore Marwadi businessman who in 10 years has turned a 100 crore business into almost a 10,000 crore business. That's no small feat. You're talking about a man who has got about 120 big bazaars across India, a country which has only 40 cities. So when he tells you things like this, you listen. When he says, "Hame kahani chahiye," you start asking yourself, why is he looking at you and asking you to do such a bizarre job? I have always loved mythology. I've been writing on mythology for the last 14 years. For the last 14 years. But I never thought I'd bring it into the corporate world. I always knew it could be brought into the corporate world, but I need someone else who has to believe in it. And Kishorji believed in it. And after a lot of discussion, we decided that the designation he gave me is Chief Belief Officer. What does this mean? You will know it at the end of the session. But let's ask ourselves a question. Do you believe that belief is important? If belief is important, then perhaps that's what Kishorji thought when he thought of this designation. He felt that belief matters. But what does it entail? What do I do? In the morning when I go to office, what do I do? And I'm going to take you through this because it will perhaps not very specific to this topic, but more in terms of the retail space. Let me give you a background of, you see, you're looking at a group of, you're looking at a company which has, as I said, direct under its control there are 200 stores and there are 300 more stores which are not under their control. It's a joint venture, not directly under their control. Now what does it mean? It means that when you enter a Pantaloon shop, there is a man or a woman who you will meet. What's his salary? His salary will be 4,000, 6,000, 8,000, that's it. The billing that he does will be anything of value from 10,000 rupees, 5,000 rupees, 40,000 rupees every day. To give you a better example, how many of you all have gone to a multiplex? Okay. Have you bought popcorn? Ask yourself, how much does a multiplex popcorn cost? Can the person who is selling you the popcorn buy the popcorn for his family? No. Visualize that is the gap between India 1 and India 2 in our country. We are not even aware of it. So as India is growing and you have these multiplexes and retail spaces coming, the people who are working in the stores cannot afford what they are selling. And that creates a huge tension that is never acknowledged. We will ask this person customer service karne ka. Kyun karega? He feels that, listen, I can't afford this popcorn. These people belong to another planet. They don't understand me. ये लोग English speaking लोग हैं. उनको क्या पता है real India क्या है? And the fact is, he belongs to 80% of India. Kishorji is telling me that I have over 40,000 such people working in my store. They are coming and going. There's high attrition rate. They're leaving and coming. my business will grow only when they serve the customer well. If they serve the customer well, my top line rises. Second point, if they don't have integrity, they will steal. If they steal, I have something called shrinkage. If there is theft and shrinkage, my bottom line is affected. So it comes from the balance sheet. I remember I told you Marwadi gentleman, but it's a different way of thinking. He's saying, I want to triple my business. I will grow faster and faster and faster. I will have more shops, I will have more joint ventures, I will have more access, more outlets, more stores, more consumption. I will have thousands of people walking through my door. But this is the problem statement. The people I'm hiring don't belong to this world. They belong to another world. If they have to give service, how will they give service? Batao mujhe. Give you problem number one. Which language will you talk to them? So, I have a trainer, I hire a young trainer, experienced in the BPO, learned very well, comes and I said, okay, go do training. Where should you go to do training? You have to go to Andhra Pradesh, coastal Andhra Pradesh, where everybody speaks Telugu. And nobody speaks English. Go train customer service. And it's a very profitable store, but also high shrinkage. So I have my measurables in place if the training is decent. But I can't communicate. And how will you explain to them customer service? Which language, which is the word you will use? In Telugu, any Telugu speaking person? Customer service. Give me a word. Okay, I don't understand Telugu, so whatever you say, I'll agree with you. Marathi. I understand Marathi. Tell me Marathi, customer service. Customer service. Customer service. We don't realize this. It's so simple, no? Nothing very complicated. I'm not talking Stephen Covey. I'm talking very simple. If you have to move ahead, they have to speak a language. So I have content in English. I have a trainer who speaks good English, young boy. But I will never be able to communicate with those 100 young boys and girls, extremely intelligent, extremely smart, motivated, hardworking. It is the greatest achievement of their life that they've got a job in Big Bazaar. But I cannot train them. Now I move to Bengal, then I come to Maharashtra, then I go to Karnataka, then I go to Kerala, I go to Tamil Nadu, I go to Gujarat. How do I connect with them? I can't conduct sessions like this. This is alien environment. Air-conditioned room, PowerPoint presentation, this speaking, ऐसे नहीं चलता है बात. ऐसा धंधा नहीं होगा. It comes down to simple moments of truth. Very, very simple. It's a simple, like a cell in your body. If one cell in your body gets cancerous, your entire body will suffer. But a cell has to be seen as an individual entity. The problem statement. So you have methodologies and thinking and getting people. And then you ask, what do you do? And, hello? Okay. So it's a problem, right? So I will show you something from, how many have seen this photograph as children? Chanda Mama? Now, okay, Abhi Vikram and Vetal is going on. Let me tell you the story again. Now listen to it carefully. Once upon a time, there was a king called Vikramaditya. One day a rishi came to him and told him, मैं साधना कर रहा हूँ. I'm conducting an occult ritual. For that, I need one ingredient. The ingredient is a Vetal, a ghost. Go to the Smashan Bhumi and get me a Vetal. Only then can I conclude my ritual. So the king said, because Rishi has come and whatever Rishi asks, the king is to give. King says, I will go. So at night he goes to the crematorium, Smashana Bhumi, in search of the Vetal. The Rishi has told him, अगर आप वेताल को पकड़ोगे तो उसके साथ बात मत करो. Don't talk to him, because the moment you talk to him, he will run away. So he goes. He goes to the Smashan Bhumi and he finds the banyan tree, and on the banyan tree, on the topmost branch, he finds the Vetal hanging upside down. He catches hold of the Vetal struggles, he pulls him down, puts him on his shoulders and walks back towards the kingdom. Now the Vetal wants to run away, so he keeps talking and he keeps talking and he keeps trying to force the king to speak, but the king remains mum. So finally the Vetal tells him a story. At the end of the story, the Vetal says, ends it with a puzzle and tells the king, if you know the answer to this puzzle, speak, otherwise your head will burst into 1,000 pieces. Now Vikramaditya is an extremely intelligent king and he knows the answer to the puzzle. So he answers the puzzle. He answers the puzzle and the Vetal runs away. Back to the top of the tree. And Vikramaditya runs back to the tree, pulls him down, and the journey begins once more. And once more the story is told, it ends with a puzzle, the answer is given and the Vetal escapes. And so a cycle happens again and again and again and again, and the king is frustrated until finally there is a problem that the king does not have the answer to. And he heaves a sigh of relief because now he cannot speak. And then the Vetal bursts out laughing. The Vetal says, you are so relieved that you don't have the answer to a problem. So what will happen? You will now take me to your kingdom and give me to the Rishi. And the Rishi will use me in the ceremony. And he will become all powerful. Puzzle. Solve the puzzle. He is not solving the puzzle. He is actually presenting a case. It's called case presentation. Have you heard this? Case presentation. But we associate case presentation with Harvard Business School. Not with Vikram and Vetal. ये तो बच्चों के लिए है, बड़ों के लिए थोड़ी है. वेताल पच्चीसी, ये तो बड़ों के लिए है. We have to do case studies. Who taught us case studies? Who taught India case studies? Who taught IIM case studies? Where did the notion of case studies come from? Isn't case study a story? Kishore Biani says, हमें कहानी सुनना पसंद है. What is he saying? Because when you hear the word kahani, you think of Raja Rani. We don't think of a case study. But what essentially is a case study? Nothing but a story. Solve the problem at the end of the story and you will become Vikramaditya. What is the biggest problem we face in training? The trainer talks. It is the worst thing in a training program. The simple pie chart has to be created. How much time did the trainer speak? If he spoke for more than 25% of the time, then it is a terrible training session. दिमाग में कुछ नहीं घुसा. He has been pouring water on people. And everybody says, if you feel refreshed, of course you feel refreshed after you take a bath. But there has been no transformation. Who is that Vikramaditya? For me, it is the participants of the training program. He has to solve the puzzle. We have 40,000 people in the shop floor. I want each one of them to behave like Vikramaditya because every day there is a problem in the store. A simple problem, कस्टमर खरीद क्यों नहीं रहा है? सिर्फ एक शर्ट क्यों खरीद रहा है? एक खरीद रहा है तो दो खरीदना चाहिए, दो तो चार, चार तो आठ. That is customer service. क्या वो नाराज है? Because processes are in place, systems are in place, merchandise is in place. Sale क्यों नहीं हो रहा है? What is the differential? What is not in control of the management from HO? What happens in the store? I can't control it. I need Vikramaदिtyas out there who takes a call. Who takes a call and gets the result in his specific domain. Now go back to the person who is selling the popcorn. What happens to this boy when in a training session he is asked questions, not told what to do? Typical training process, BPO training, दिमाग नहीं लगाने का, जो ऐसा बोला वैसा करने का. Isn't that how we talk to our maids, our servants in our shops? You listen to this language. I'm using language which is used in the street. दिमाग नहीं लगाने का. What are you telling that man? You are a walking, talking, organic machine. तुम्हारी औकात ही वो है. How would you feel if I talk to you like this? I am paying you not to think. I want your obedience, not your intelligence. Alignment with the organizational values. So appraisal system, you don't align. Marks cut. How do you feel? गुस्सा तो आएगा ना? How will it manifest? दाखवतो बस. Let me show you. Shrinkage. Things disappear. स्टोर से कस्टमर आया, आने दे, मैं बात करता हूं, टाइम पास करता हूं. What affects? Top line, bottom line, balance sheet. Connected to the fact that you have not given him औकात. How do you give a man औकात? Simple method. वेताल 25. Tell the person, तू है विक्रमादित्य, मैं सिर्फ वेताल. This could be your, can we use this model for leadership coaching?
Yes.
Don't tell, ask. Don't tell, ask. Be the Vetal. Vetal is hanging upside down, which means everything is topsy-turvy. He can question anything and everything under the sun. Aisa kyun, vaisa kyun. Isn't that what coaching is all about? Provoking thought, forcing insight. And a simple method. Don't tell, ask. Don't tell, ask. Create emotional turbulence. Why? How? What? When? कैसा करेगा? बोल कैसा करेगा? से कुछ करना चाहिए. हाँ, करना चाहिए. कैसे करेगा? Business plan. Isn't that what is the business plan? How will you achieve your numbers? How will you know it is being done? How do you know it is on track? Simple method from storytelling. And this is what Kishore Biyani said. हमें चाहिए को जो कहानी बता पाए. You will never forget this training methodology ever. Because Vikram and Vetal is part of your cultural construct. I may not be able to tell it with the same ease if I was with an American audience. It would not work as strongly. It would work. Everybody will understand the ask not tell bit, but they will not understand Vikram and Vetal. It's the cultural connect which will ensure memory. Look at the photograph which has been used over here, very consciously selected. We have selected a non-English image. You can see there is no English word in that Vikram and Vetal piece. It's not done by default. It is Chanda Mama because maybe not that particular audience, but the CEOs of the company have to deal with, the managers of the company have to deal with. They are all have seen this image. It's memory of their childhood which I'm working with. So learnings from a story. Vikram and Vetal. The Vetal is the trainer, the ghost who challenges, who presents problems, will keep questioning again and again. So nobody likes the Vetal because he'll say, "Aapko kya lagta hai? What do you think?" And it's very annoying, no? Because remember what is the biggest problem? For many trainers, it's a power kick to be a trainer. I am the source of knowledge. I will tell you the answers. I have the answers to the problems. Now that is a huge problem which I am currently facing, because very difficult to sustain this methodology. It sounds very simple, extremely difficult, because your participants are not used to thinking in training program. They, remember, came for a party and you are asking them dimag chalane ke liye. I am asking for the wheels of thought to function. Not difficult at all. Sorry, extremely difficult. Okay. Let's look at another method. So what are different types of participants you will see? There is Arjun. There is Duryodhan. There is Bhim. There is Sahadev. Remember, I'm using mythological characters. Who is an Arjun? Someone who keeps asking question but does nothing. Argue करने के लिए हमेशा तैयार है. No but. Everything is about no but. No but, no but, no but. Very good, quick to argue, but never actually delivering the result. Duryodhan nods his head intelligently in a training program, pretends but says, yeah, right. ये थोड़ी practical reality में ऐसा होता है. Bhim, I will not think, जो बोलो वो करूंगा. Tell me what to do. Very obedient, you love him. He is your most wonderful person to have in a training program. Sahadev only thinks, does nothing. What you want is Vikramaditya. Remember, I'm using the word training program, and now just shift focus, and this is your boardroom. You present an idea, you'll always have that director over there who will argue with you, and everybody knows what deliver to kuch nahi karta hai. It will apply to a manager, apply to a team. They'll always be the person who argues but does nothing. So he kills the plan before anything can happen because he just argues. There is a Duryodhan who will say, हाँ, बहुत अच्छा point है. Notes लेता है regularly. I had a boss like that. I feel for you, he would say. He would listen to everything that you said very carefully, because he has been told in a training program, look into the eye of the person while counseling. And he will note down your problems and keep it neatly and forget about it. He is a very powerful CEO and you can do nothing about it. He will always say, I feel for you. But policies have what I say. Then there is the Bhim. You running a retail store, Bhim becomes very critical. Bhim becomes extremely critical because you want people to work like an army, but he can't think. But what you want is the Vikramaditya who will take a call. So the question is, if I want to develop leaders, if I want those 40,000 people to grow to be store managers or managers, not necessarily in the company, they may leave future group, but people should die and say, future group ka banda hai, pick him up. Kishore ji say, this is my corporate social responsibility. That's all. I want to invest this. Iske aage main kuch nahi karne wala. Remember Marwadi? Very focused. He said, if I can develop 40,000 Vikramaदिtyas, that is my contribution to the country. I would invest here. Yahan pe paise dalo. Invest in creating 40,000 people who know how to take calls, who know to take responsibilities, who know what their context is, know daira kis taraf hai. How big is my kingdom? I can't do everything. And so we come to the 3B model of management, and you will understand my designation, belief. It says that business comes from behavior. how the customer behaves, and how the employee behaves. The internal and the external customer behave. But behavior is measurable. But behind behavior there is belief, which is not measurable. So the intervention points can be behavior, which I can measure, or belief, which I cannot measure. So while we have a series of work which goes on at a behavioral level, a lot of attention is now being given in the organization to belief. अगर उनको विश्वास नहीं तो होगा नहीं. And it works at every level, from CEO to manager to team leader to team member to the security guard. At every level this principle applies. It's a very simple way of looking at things. Let's look at the world through a behavior axis. Again, I shall use mythological examples and observe how I'm using mythological I thought rather than explaining it theoretically, I wanted you all to experience how mythological narratives, you see, mythology has many ways in which it can be used. This is level 1. You use it as to accelerate your learning curve. That's what I'm doing today. I will not talk about level 2, which is pattern thinking, level 3, which is structuralism. So we are just thinking right now of narrative and storytelling. And storytelling right now I have used to explain one concept of training. This is the second concept which I will explain. I'm going to explain just 3 concepts to you and everything else falls in between. The second concept is of, if I were to look at the world through a behavioral axis, is he doing what he is told to do? Dimag mat lagao. It happens to everybody, right? You're a manager, you have 3 people reporting to you, you want them to behave in a particular way. If they behave the way you want them to behave, you will say, Ram. ये राजा राम है, जो कहता है वही करता है. Perfect, lovely. Whatever I tell he does. Remember how much we celebrate obedient children? My son is very obedient. You will not say, oh, I love my son, he's extremely disobedient. Disobedient, Ravan. So the child who screams he is made to stand up on the bench. School, look at our school. Time table पे जो time पे आता है, homework करता है, exams के time पे पढ़ता है, TV नहीं देखता. He comes and tells you, माँ, आज मेरी परीक्षा है, मुझे आज TV नहीं देखना है, केबल टीवी कृपया बंद कर दीजिए. श्री राम, पूजनीय है ये. This is how we are taught. Behavior, good, bad. Ram, Ravan. Ravan has to be burnt. Jala do. Now let us put another axis there, because life becomes a little complicated when you add belief to the behavior axis and the world changes very dramatically. And please remember, the problem with this is all the systems and processes, it's especially typical in an IT company. Look at our systems and processes, they are based on measurables. It's based on measurables, because systems are based on measurement. Remember the doctrine, if it can't be measured, it can't be managed. Which means I cannot manage belief. Because belief by its very definition, and that's a different talk by itself, cannot be measured. So, now I'll put see, this is my consulting background. I need a 2x2 matrix. Ye mera yantra hai. Without a 2x2 matrix, I cannot think. Look at this now. You see, the mythology creates another character called Krishna. Does he ever align? No, but, So Bhishma Parva. How to kill Bhishma? He will not fight a woman. But women are not allowed into the battlefield. Okay, so get a man who is not quite a man. हिंदी में इसको क्या बोलते हैं बोलो? नहीं वो नहीं जो श्री कृष्ण ने किया. टेल मी हिंदी में क्या बोलते हैं उसको? संस्कृत शब्द नहीं, स्ट्रीट लैंग्वेज. Not that. Oh God, I'm talking what did the process, not the outcome. What did Sri Krishna do? Jugad. Will you ever use the word jugad for innovation? Innovation कितना Sanskrit शब्द है. इट इज सो ब्रह्मानिकली प्योर. जुगाड़ शूद्रों की बोली. लेकिन जुगाड़ तो इनोवेशन ही है ना. इट हैज दिस नेगेटिव टोन टू इट. लेकिन एवरीबडी नोज सेटिंग. I have 40,000 जुगाड़ूज इन माई कंपनी. और मैं उसको राम बनने की कोशिश करूं तो मैं मरूंगा. I am an idiot if I don't recognize for what they are. And trust me, Kishore ji is no idiot. He says, इसको harness करो. Harness this is his capability. That boy is a jugadu. That is good, but I just want it not against me, but for me. उसको पांडव बनाओ, कौरव मत बनाओ. Krishna. And then there is Duryodhan. He will do exactly by the book. Read the Mahabharata again. Duryodhan has never ever broken a single law. And yet he is a villain. मैंने तो पत्नी को दाव पे नहीं लगाया, आपने लगाया. And the law says, दासी के साथ भी कुछ भी कर सकते हो. तो मैंने तो कुछ गलत तो नहीं किया ना. मैंने थोड़ी जुआ खेला. I didn't wager the wife. You did. So you will have people in your company who will come on time. I want people to come on time and leave on time. That's the system. So we keep it a swipe card system. You know swipe card? Which means at 9 o'clock he comes and sits, and 6 o'clock he leaves. In between, what does he do? That is not measured. Amount of time spent on solitaire. So I got product. So I get the intellectual satisfaction of controlling him. 9 बजे आके बैठ, 6 बजे तक काम कर. काम थोड़ी करता हूं. जुगाड़ू है वो. टिक टिक टिक. Quick, all tab, all tab, all tab, all tab. Boss आया. One whisper will come and all solitaire screens will immediately turn into some Microsoft Word or something of that sort. Excel sheet with pivot table 3 times. And you will have the great satisfaction of presenting in front of your especially multinational companies. Amount of absenteeism has dropped from 20%. Now it is only 4%. Productivity? No, the market is down. No, sir. You see, now this year monsoon was very bad. So typhoid has been very high. So answers जुगाड़ू. CEO भी जुगाड़ू है. We have to ask ourselves a question. In English में बताओ, English का शब्द बताओ दुर्योधन के लिए. Someone who comes on time, leaves on time. He agrees to disagree. मेरा दिल नहीं है काम पे, but I will do it because I'm a team player. Have you heard these lines? I don't agree with you, but I'm a team player. I will align. बताइए अंग्रेजी में इसके शब्द क्या है? Yeah, I used a different word. I call it a professional. I'm very professional. I don't agree with you, but I will do it. दिल नहीं है, लेकिन करूंगा. My behavior will be aligned to organizational goals, even if I don't agree with it. I'm a professional. Okay, so Vikramaditya, take a call. What do you want in your organization? Tell me. What do you want in your organization? You all are Vikramaदिtyas. आपके organization बताओ. See how Vikramaदिtyas disappear? सर फटेगा. आंसर नहीं दोगे तो सर फटेगा. अगर आंसर नहीं दे आंसर है ही नहीं तो आप विक्रमादित्य हो ही नहीं. बोले प्रोडक्टिविटी. नहीं कौन टेल मी विच वन यू वांट इन योर टीम. चॉइसेस A B C D और KRDR. You want Krishnas, right? So jugadus you want in your team. So basically what you're saying is systems and processes I will remove from my company. Sure? Tell me which company can run without systems and processes?
Some part of Krishna, some part of Ram, some part.
ये इंडियन आंसर दे दिया ना, ये भी चाहिए, वो भी चाहिए, वो भी चाहिए, वो स्वादानुसार. ये तो इंडियन आंसर दे दिया. बाइनरी लॉजिक तो है ही नहीं. यस और नो. ये इंडियन आंसर स्वादानुसार. थोड़ा किसके स्वादानुसार बताया नहीं गया? खाने वाले के या पकाने वाले के? बताइए. यस सर. Question is simple. I am the Vetal. You can't change. Another Indian technique. Change the story, create a story. I am clearly we are not getting ahead with answers today. Smashan bhumi में अटके रहेंगे. बताइए. Take a call. You want Krishnas in your team. What do you want? Depends on situation. Indian answer. बताइए. हाँ, Ravan. Ram. You see what is.
Suffered a lot in the end, so we don't want Ram. At least Ram.
Okay, you don't want people who align to your system. Let me translate it. Remember the slide. Please go back. I wanted to show. Okay. Remember what is happening right now. You are getting stuck by the form. You are not getting the thought. I don't want Ram because मेरे रामायण serial में क्या था? You are not seeing what. Translate the word Ram. Alignment. Professional. Innovator. चाहिए क्या? See, you are getting stuck in the form. This is what happened to us. This is what Amar Chitrakatha did. This is what Chanda Mama did. They showed you the story of Vikram and Vetal. They never revealed the wisdom. They never revealed the wisdom. So even now you're looking at Ram as Ramanand Sagar ka Ram, Arun Govil. You are not seeing Ram as the person who aligns to your system. Admit it. You want people to align to the system you create. Admit it. We want Ram. Who is fooling whom? झूठ क्यों बोल रहे हैं? You want, when you make a business plan, I want you to align to the system. This is the fact. I want people to align. I don't care a damn whether you believe it or not believe it, you better well align. I want professionals. दुर्योधन तो चाहिए. I know दुर्योधन है. But I can't control वो राम हो